Click subscribe to get latest news and don't forget to press the bell icon.
Politicians know that they can never overtly take away the American people's guns. We're far too strong and intelligent to have one pulled over us in times of peace, which is why they sneak these bills in during times of chaos. One governor has just passed a gun confiscation law, making it completely legal for the government to violate every single citizen's Second Amendment rights. Worse still, his justification for this is that the super typhoon Irma is making its way to U.S. territories, and will touch down very soon. The one time that Americans need guns is during a crisis. We don't necessarily need guns during peaceful times, although it's still our right to have them. No, we need them when the crap hits the fan, and when the biggest hurricane that the Atlantic has ever created collides with Florida. That would be one of those times. One governor seems to have forgotten that. Even though he represents a U.S. territory and not a state, the Bill of Rights still applies there. Daily Caller report, U.S. Virgin Islands Governor Kenneth Mapp signed an emergency order allowing the seizure of private guns, ammunition, explosives and property the National Guard may need to respond to Hurricane Irma. Mapp signed the order Monday in preparation for Hurricane Irma. The order allows the Adjutant General of the Virgin Islands to seize private property they believe necessary to protect the islands, subject to approval by the territory's Justice Department. Mapp issued an emergency declaration Tuesday and mobilized National Guard units to prepare for the massive storm. This is not an opportunity to go outside and try to have fun with a hurricane, Mapp said. It's not time to get on a surfboard. Irma strengthened to a Category 5 storm Tuesday, with wind gusts hitting 175 miles an hour. Irma's eye is expected to pass just north of the heart of the U.S. Virgin Islands on Wednesday and bring 4 to 8 inches of rain and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. As we saw in Texas, when citizens are armed and able to defend themselves, they normally do what's right. Thousands of retired veterans, gun enthusiasts, and backwoods rednecks showed up to keep the peace when the government was unable to do so. We saw "You loot, we shoot" signs, signaling the Texans' willingness to stop crime. When you take away our Second Amendment rights, you take away our ability to defend ourselves. Liberals can go on and on about gun bans all they like, but the truth is that guns are never banned. Gun control just puts all of the weapons in the hands of the criminals and the government. While GOP Florida Governor Rick Scott and Puerto Rico Governor Ricardo Rossello have both declared a state of emergency, and hope to evacuate as many people as possible before the storm hits. If the forecasts are true, this will be one of the most devastating storms of the last 2 centuries. Some have expressed concerns that the Florida governor might issue a blanket gun confiscation law himself, but most doubt this would ever happen. While he's not as far right as Donald Trump, Governor Rick Scott is at least on the Republican side of the spectrum. Americans must always be on the lookout for those who try to suppress our Second Amendment rights. However, evil does not stop, and it knows no shame. Corrupt politicians will wait for the perfect moment, just when Americans are distracted with a national disaster, and then ban all of our guns. It's time we send a message, loud and clear, to our representatives and the members of our government. We will not tolerate any infringements upon our Second Amendment rights.